Come on, worker. I know that there's got to be a way for you to be able to harvest without me needing to be there with the trailer. You got this, right? All right, let me go get it. I'll be right back. How's it going, everybody? Driver 53 here, and today I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to get this worker right here to harvest by themselves. Now, this is part of the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. We've got root crops. I've got some carrots here in this field, but the worker doesn't want to start moving until I put a trailer next to it. But they will if I have one of these. This is the Global Goods Transport Pallet by 82 Studios. Guys, all we got to do is pick up one of these right here. That's going to be the unrealistic capacity. So go ahead and click on the first one. Then you're going to go over here and click Unreal. 200,000 liter capacity. All right. Now, the awesome thing about these is that you can lift them. Yeah, let me show you. So I've got my pallet right here. And as you can see, I'm going to go up to it and just lift it up. It's easy. It weighs nothing at all. I can lift it up, throw it around wherever I need. Now, the one thing I need to keep in mind of is this side right here that says auto load. I'm actually going to put it on top of that harvester there, and the worker's going to start going. Check this out. So we're going to take this over here. Going to walk with it gently so it doesn't go flying around. So I'm actually going to put it up on top, way up there, and then we're going to be good to go, and this worker's going to be able to start going. So what I need to do is get this to a point where I can pick it up. All right, so right there. All right, now I'm going to take it over here, and we're just going to throw it. Oh, it didn't quite go. Now I just got to climb up here and then finish pulling it up the rest of the way. All right, well, that was easier said than done, but now all I got to do is pull this up here, get it close enough, and they are going to be able to start going by themselves. Yep, there they go. They just took off, right? So all I got to do is just get this positioned so that this thing right here is going to be close enough that it's going to automatically fill into that. And now the worker's moving by themselves. You guys can see that I am not anywhere around this piece of equipment. The worker is going by themselves. The Global Goods Transport Pallet is doing its job. 200,000 liter capacity here for harvesting your root crops. Yes, this thing costs $637,000, but it's going to be worth it. Take out the biggest load you can. Get yourself some of these. And you're going to be able to get your fields done in no time, guys. No time at all. Now, I will caution you that if the worker does some erratic behavior, that thing's not going to stay up there. So you may have to play around with it a little bit, test out some different positions. But I think it's going to be good. So as soon as it's done doing this right here, it should, yep, it's just going to go on to the next spot. And it's going to scoot over, and it's going to be good to go. Now, you might have to get it so it's like angled down in there. I'm not quite sure, but guys, it's working. Carrots, red beets, and parsnips are the new crops available in the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. But which one is the most profitable? How's it going, everybody? Driver 53 here, and today I'm going to go over which crop is the most profitable here in the expansion that we get on November 14th, 2023. Now, this is available for Farming Simulator 22, and you guys know that we already have two root crops, potatoes and sugar beets, but now with this new expansion, we now have carrots, parsnips, and red beets as well. I'm going to be using this big harvester right here to go ahead and clear this field. I'm going to be using a worker to help me out and a tipper trailer. So I'm going to go through here and collect all of the crop that you see here on the ground. I'm going to calculate how big the area is using another crop as a baseline. And then we're going to figure out exactly how much yield we're going to get off each one of these crops, and then we're going to calculate the best price, and then I'm going to show you a spreadsheet and explain which one is the most profitable crop. All right, so the worker is ready. I am too. Let's go ahead and get started here. And the reason I'm using this combo is because if I accidentally drop anything onto the ground, I'm able to come back and pick this up. I've got the forage pickup right here. As you can see, I'm not the best about keeping it directly centered over top of the trailer right there. But with this setup and a little bit of function change over on the harvester, something that anybody can do on any platform, I am able to now come back and pick this crop up. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and do all three crops. As you can see, I'm already dropping it off right there. We're going to get back over here. Yeah, let me grab that real quick. Actually, I'll come back and pick it up later. But it's a really, really great combo. I went and released a full video on it the other day. So go ahead and check that one out. We're going to go ahead and complete this entire field right here. Then we're going to do the other two crops too. All right, so for the first crop here, the red beets, I got 28,711 liters. I got all three crops done. So once again, for the red beets, we had 28,711. For the carrots, I got 38,071. And for the parsnips, I got 34,361. And now we're going to do the exact same test using corn. And the reason I'm using corn is because it's a really high yielding crop. Like, I know that for an entire hectare, it's 18,400 liters. So by having that much volume, I can really dial in and tell exactly how big this field is, because it's nowhere near a hectare. It's tiny, guys. And I'll show you here in the inside. If you look at my field or my yield bonus, it's at 100%, same as all the other crops were. So I'm getting exactly 100% of all the crop. I don't have any other conditions going on that are going to reduce it. That could be different between them. They were all right at 100. The corn's done. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see exactly how much. 4,548 liters. That's not a whole lot. But by doing some simple math of taking 4,598 divided by 18,400, I get 0.247. That's how big this field is. Almost right at exactly a quarter of a hectare. Here is my spreadsheet. You can see the crops are red beets, carrots, parsnips, and corn. The yield you can see right there, that's the same values that I mentioned earlier, and the hectares is 0.247. Now, to get my yield per hectare, what I need to do is take the yield that I have and divide that by the hectares, 0.247. And what that does is it actually gives me how much that would be if it was one whole hectare. So as you can see, for red beets, it's about 116,238, carrots, 154,134, parsnips, 139,113, and corn, 18,413. Why did I mention corn? Well, because I know that based on Giants information, a full hectare of corn, if you do everything to it perfect, the most you're going to get off of that is 18,400. I'm within 13 liters on this field, so my math is really accurate for the rest of these also. Now what I need to do is go ahead and figure out my peak easy sell price. So I've got my economic setting on easy right now. And if I come down here to red beets and then I show my price fluctuations, you can see right here, it says 486. If I come to carrots, it's 525, and parsnips is going to be 522. Now, if I come back up here to the top, let's go ahead and get corn as well, so we could use that once again as our baseline. So right here, 1,515. So now what I need to do is go ahead and figure out my value per the hectare. So I multiply my price times my yield. Well, the yield is per every 1,000, so I'm going to do a little bit of a math, divide the yield by 1,000, and then multiply by the price. So for red beets, it's going to be 56,492. Carrots, 80,920. Parsnips, 72,617. Corn, 27,076. Guys, that is nothing. Like, I mean, the carrots is 3 times as profitable than the corn, but considering that you're only using 4 rows at a time and it's a lot more work, I completely understand why Giants has set this value as high as they have. Now, an interesting thing to me, I don't quite understand why red beets is so much lower than carrots or parsnips. I mean, I would think that with this new DLC, there would be a little bit better of a comparison between them. And for those of you that are wondering, I went ahead and added the other 2 root crops as well, potatoes and sugar beets. And here you can see that their value per hectare is only about 51 to 52,000. Potatoes is a little bit more. Sugar beets is just a little bit less. So red beets beats out sugar beets by about 5 grand, but it still doesn't compare to carrots or parsnips. Have you been harvesting your carrots, red beets, and parsnips, but instead of selling them, you actually want to make something with them, but you're not really sure which production is the most profitable? Let's go find out. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we're going to take a look at which one of the brand new 3 facilities are the most profitable here in the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. I'm currently standing at the Preserved Food Factory. Now you're going to need carrots, your parsnips, and your red beet. What are you going to make? Well, you're going to make preserved food. It's going to be preserved food carrots, preserved food parsnip, and preserved food beetroot. I know it's really interesting. Let's go take a look here at this spreadsheet. So what I've got is the input. That's going to be your carrots, parsnip, and red beets. The easy sell price, peak easy sell price right there. And the way I found that is you go into your price fluctuations, the highest price that you see. That's what I've got listed right here. Your input cycles, your input value. The way that works is how much is 100 units of that crop worth, because that's what our input quantity cycle is. Your output is the preserved food carrot, parsnip, or beetroot. Easy sell price. That's going to be how much that product there is worth. Your output cycle. Then you get your output value per cycle. So each 60 units of the preserved food is going to be worth that much money. So for the first one, $146, second one, 142, and the third one, 142 there as well. Now your difference per cycle, okay? That is how much your output value cycle is more than your input value per cycle. So for carrots right here, 100 liters is worth $52.50 if I just sell that straight out to the to any sell point. And then the output value of 60 liters of preserved food carrots is $146. So 146 is obviously more than 52.50. So my difference per cycle, because I get 100 in, 60 out, is 93.66. All right, that is my profit if I run it through this facility. I get 240 cycles per month. It costs me $96 per month to do it. So my profit is $22,382. That's on top of the cost that, or the value that I would get for selling it. This is just additional profit. If I run it through this facility, I'm going to get roughly about another $22,000. I do not see a clear winner here at the Preserved Food Factory because even though it's $900 difference, you might get a peak sale price on one of the other ones to actually jump above that. So really, really close here. I don't have a winner. I'm here now at the Soup Factory, and for this one, you're going to be able to actually put 4 different crops in: carrots, parsnip, red beet, and potatoes. Yeah, potatoes is not part of this DLC expansion, but it is something that you're going to be able to make some soup out of. Here you can see you got the 4 different types of soup, and then you've got a 5th one right here. This is called triple soup. So what you need is carrots, parsnip, and red beets. So here on the spreadsheet, everything is going to be exactly the same format as the first one that we looked at. You've got your input, you've got all your input volumes and values. You've got your output volumes and values there again. The important part is that over on the right-hand side, you can see that it's anywhere from almost 23,000, just a little bit under 23,000, all the way up to a little bit over $25,000. So barely $2,000 swing here, and that's over a full month's production, and that's additional profit once again over if you were just to sell these products outright. I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be your triple soup here because it is a little bit more, and I don't think you're really going to need as much to harvest each one, right? So you could cut your harvesting down to a third of each one, and then you're still going to be able to make the same amount of money at the end of the year, or maybe even a little bit more. And last but not least, this is the potato processing plant. Yes, I know potatoes, but like I said, they're not part of the DLC, but they've added a new processing here. So maybe if you're running, a different map and you want to make potato chips, then here you go. You're going to need potatoes, sunflower oil, canola oil, and olive oil. Now you're going to have 3 different recipes. Each one of those oils go with potatoes. You're going to be able to make your potato chips, and then you make your profit at the end of the month. Let's go look at the spreadsheet here. And anywhere from about 19,000 up to a little bit over 21,000. So not a big swing here. The only thing is olives are probably going to be a little bit more labor intensive to get than your canola or your sunflower. But if I had to pick a winner, it would be potato chips being made with canola oil. As I look back over the spreadsheet here, I really don't see one that necessarily stands out. I mean, carrots I know are the most profitable crop. So I'm probably going to make more money with a carrot recipe here because what you see in the gross profit, that's just additional revenue on top of what I would already make. So I know that there's about an $8,000 spread on a hectare of carrots versus your parsnips. So carrot recipes here are going to make a little bit more money in the long run. But if I didn't have to worry about what I was going to harvest and I just ran this thing every single month all out, I'm probably going to go with triple soup because it takes all 3. I can put stuff in here that I don't have to have as much of with the other recipes, and it's going to make $25,188 on average additional revenue every single month. I mean, that just makes absolute sense. And I'm going to go show you the bottom one here because there is also a bakery on this map, and it's in line with base game. Nothing different about it at all. And as you can see, the most you're going to make from your cakes is $4,955, even though that is like one of the best production things to make per volume. Other than like clothes, but on things you actually need crops for, cakes are good. And this absolutely blows it out of the water, like 5 times more profitable here. So absolutely triple soup, stick with it. Well, I guess now I know exactly where I'm going to be taking my product and what I'm going to be doing with it. On a lot of maps, the best price for your productions is going to be using the train to sell it to another location. What if I told you that you didn't have to go through all that hassle? There's a lot easier way. How's it going, everybody? Driver 53 here, and today I'm going to show you a little bit easier way to sell your production items here using the train. Well, you're actually not going to use the train at all because it's kind of a pain to get your productions loaded up onto one of these flatbeds, and you could really only use one at a time. And do you really want to spend all that money renting the train? I don't, and I don't think you guys do either. So it doesn't even involve the train location right there. We're going to go down here all the way to where the edge of the map is, where the train like disappears. That's where this is going to happen. So you've got to be a little bit careful that you don't actually run into the end of the map, which is like right there. Yeah, so it's right here. Whenever you do that, you know you're in the right spot. Now all you have to do is just turn before you get to that, run your product directly over it, and check that out. It's sold. I just made $50,000. I've got a trailer full of the brand new crop red beans here, part of the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. But where do I store them? How's it going, everybody? Driver 53 here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at where you can store the brand new crops. That's going to be your carrots, your parsnips, and your red beets here on the brand new map Zielonka, part of the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. We're also going to take a look and see if any of the other existing mod silos are going to work as well. To start things off, I've got a trailer full of red beets right here being pulled by my brand new tractor, my Fiat Agri. We're going to go ahead and pull up here and see if we can get anything to show up here on this silo that we got here in the base farm that you start with. And no, I'm not getting anything at all. All right, let's go find a spot on the map that'll take these. I've made my way over to the east side of the map over by the railroad tracks to a little place called the Grain Pool East. You can see it right here on the map. Main farm is right here where you're starting at. If I zoom out all the way here, you can see that it's going to be over here on this side of the map, right in here, right in the middle. And if I come down here to my prices sheet, I can see that for red beets, this place doesn't actually accept them and give me any money. So let's see if we could actually store them here. All right, so I'm going to drive up, and then we're going to get over top of this. Am I going to get a message? Yes, start overloading. All right, perfect. There we go. It's going to go in here. All right, my money is not going up at all. All right, so we're going to put the whole trailer in here. Then let's jump back over to the price sheet. And yes, I've got 12,600 liters of red beets here in this facility. And it looks like I've got an auger right here. So let's go ahead and drive underneath of it, see if we can get some type of, yes, perfect. All right, so red beets, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and fill this back up. Now, another really cool thing about this, if you come around here to the backside, get it a little bit of a run, you can see that right here, you've got a spot to load and unload on your train as well. And here on the map, you can see that you do have another spot to rent the train there. You've got another one up here, and it doesn't slow down for you unless you actually call for it. And where exactly is it going, you might ask? Well, it's going to be going to Erlengrad right here. And here on our price sheet, you can see that is the very top listing. It actually pays pretty good, 383 right now, coming down. This one's 333. So as of right now, I'd probably send it here. I've driven around to all the other spots on the map and nothing else allows me to store them. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some mod silos to see if we can actually store it there. And the first one I want to take a look at is root crop storage. I'm going to go ahead and pull up here, and no, it does not work. This is only set up for regular beets and your potatoes. So only base game crops are what it's going to do. I know these new ones are base game, but they're also DLC. So they're a little bit extra and unique. Maybe this thing's going to get an update, but as of right now, it does not store them. Next, I've got two other ones up here, one by Omatana and one by Missy B. We're going to go ahead and drive over top of this one right here by Omatana. And yes, I can absolutely unload it here. Perfect. This is going to be great. All right, there we go. Next, the one by Missy B. Let's go ahead and drive through here. And let's see if I can actually unload here. And yes, I can unload in this one as well. Now, the one thing about these two is that these accept bulk items. I mean, you could put pretty much anything into these silos. You could put wood chips, you could put salt, you could put fertilizer, lime, straw, grass, all those different things like that. It says it in the description that they are bulk, accept bulk items. Okay. So there are a lot more silos in ModHub that are available for all platform. I didn't test every single one of them. I just wanted to test these because they are bulk. I know that these two take pretty much anything in the game. So if you're looking for some silos, make sure they say bulk items or bulk materials. Y'all, it's time for me to get back in the field and do some more testing here on this premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. Red beets, parsnips, and carrots are 3 new crops being added to Farming Simulator 22, but you can't use a regular seeder or planter to put them in the ground. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to put these brand new crops into the ground. Yeah, you cannot use a regular planter or seeder. You're going to have to use one of these brand new pieces of equipment right here. This one is the Kverneland Mini-Air Nova Rigid. But before you use one of those, you need to use one of these. This is a Grimy GF400. The easiest way to find these pieces of equipment is go to your mods and DLCs, come down to your premium expansion. Then you're going to come across until you see the Ridge Makers and the new Seeders right here. So as you can see, you've got a GF400 and a GF800. They're going to be 3 meters and 6 meters respectively. Then on your planters or your seeders, you've got the Mini-Air Nova Rigid and the Mini-Air Nova Fold. The Rigid right here is 3 meters wide and the Fold is 6 meters wide. Once you get a purchase, they're actually pretty easy to attach. All you have to do, back up to them till you get your message, hit your button, boom, you are good to go. Then all you got to do, pull up here till you're ready, go ahead and lower it down, and then all you're gonna have to do is just go ahead and turn it on. Then all you have to do is just start driving forward. It's that simple, guys. You got to make sure that you're staying over here on the side because it's pretty narrow, so you got to make sure that you're right over on your edge. And the workers, they do absolutely perfect with this too. All you gotta do, hire a worker, and off they go. One thing you're gonna have to keep in mind though is that this is not going to work if you have a harvested field. You actually have to plow or cultivate the field first before it will actually make the ridges for you. Now the big brother here is 6 meters wide, but it does require a little bit more horsepower than your 3 meter one. 260 horsepower is what it requires. So you're not going to be able to actually use your regular tractors that come with the premium expansion pack here. You've got 2 brand new ones, a Zitter and a Fiat. So you're gonna have to use something a little bit more powerful, but you are gonna be able to cover twice as much ground with that extra horsepower because the piece is twice as wide. Now in the description, it says that you probably ought to have some wheel weights on your tractor. This tractor has 271 horsepower, but it is having a little bit of a struggle at times to actually keep a steady speed with this. So I highly recommend getting some wide tires. We all know the BKTs are the best tire that you could get for grip, and get some wheel weights with them too. As for the new seeders right here, the first thing you're going to notice is that they don't take very much seed at all. This one right here, 16 liters, pretty easy to cycle through the different crops. You've got carrots, you got parsnips, and you've got red beets. That's all these are going to plant. You can't plant any of your regular crops with this. Now all I got to do, go ahead, lower it down, turn it on, start driving forward, and it's going to start putting your seeds in the ground for you. But you're going to have to pay very, very close attention to where you're at, because there isn't very much of a ground status change. You can see that it's just getting a little bit darker. That's it. Be careful with that. Now, one thing that's going to help you save a little bit of time is you can actually connect these together in tandem, but only for the 3 meter equipment. So here we are back in the store, and you can see for the large equipment, I don't have any type of configuration at all. Over here on this one, same thing, nothing at all. So I go back over here on this seeder, nothing on the 3 meter either. But then when I come over here to the Grimy GF400, I do have a 3-point option. And what that's actually going to do is add this 3-point right here. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is have this roller right here on the front, and then your seeder is going to attach here on the back. That's going to look just like this right here. Super easy. Once again, you got to get over to your proper piece of equipment. Then all you got to do is go ahead and lower it down. And then all you got to do after that is go ahead and turn it on. Boom, there we go, and boom, turned on. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and here turn this one on as well. So everything now is turned on. I'm creating my ridges and I'm putting my crop in the ground at the exact same time. You can see right there, it's starting to get that little bit of light color, and then it's instantly getting to the dark color also back there. In my first video, take a look at the premium expansion here for Farming Simulator 22. I showed you guys how you're going to be able to use the ridge markers and this seeder to put your carrots, red beets, and parsnips in the ground. And then at the end of it, I thought, well, can we maybe not use the ridge maker and still put the crops in the ground? Let's find out. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a test, seeing if we could put crops in the ground without having to use the new ridge markers. Now we've got carrots, parsnips, and red beets, and I want to see if I can actually put in some different ground statuses right here. So I've used some different equipment to rip up the ground. I've got plowing right here. Over here, I've got a power harrow. This is one of the brand new pieces of equipment that comes with the DLC. You can see this one right here. This is the Bednar. Is really interesting piece of equipment. It's like a power harrow, and then it's also like a cultivator right here. For the third one, I used a disc harrow, and this is going to be a shallow cultivation process. And for this one, I used the Farm It Softer 11. This is a brand new piece of equipment available in the premium expansion here. It's really wide. It's probably the widest piece of equipment that came with this pack. And for the last one right here, I did a regular base game cultivator. This is also a shallow cultivation, but it is a base game piece of equipment you can see right here. So now what I'm going to do is see if I can actually put any seeds in the ground. So I've got it here. I'm going to go ahead and lower it down. We're going to go ahead and turn it on, and I'm just going to start driving. Let's see if it'll actually do it, if our volume goes down. And yes, we are getting ridge mark, or not ridge marks, but we are getting the ground status to change. We're getting a little bit of a different type of row here. I mean, it's very similar to like base game, like you're actually using a regular seeder, but it is separated out a little bit, kind of like rows. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna work. We'll take a look. So that plot over there is our plowed status. This one here is the power harrow. Let's go ahead and lower it down. It's already turned on, and let's go ahead and yes, it's gonna work into this one as well. We're getting the same type of ground state right there. Plot number 3 here. This is the disc harrow. This is a shallow cultivation process. I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down, and let's see. Yeah, it's gonna work in this one as well. And here's plot number 4, just a regular cultivator, but it is shallow as well. I think this one's gonna work. Yeah. So all 4 different types of tearing up the ground, getting it prepared for seeds is going to work. So I'm actually not surprised at all by those results. That way, in case somebody doesn't use it, you're not getting a penalty, unless Giants made it so that you actually get a benefit, a yield bonus or something, if you actually use the ridge makers. Yeah, let's go test that. So Giants got me thinking, why in the world do we actually have to use this piece of equipment? Did they make it so that we get some type of bonus or something for free? Or is it a penalty? I don't know. Let's take a look. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we are going to take a look at if there is a benefit to using the ridge makers right here before you put your seeds in the ground. Now, in my last video, I showed you that you don't necessarily have to use that to be able to get seeds in the ground. You can see that right there. I've got carrots growing, and it's also at 38% yield bonus. Very interesting, because if I come over here and I do a power harrow area, I can see that I'm only at 23% yield bonus. And then if I keep coming across right here, this is my disc harrow. It's at 23% also. And then right here, this is my regular cultivator, a shallow cultivator. It's at 23% yield bonus as well. So what happened down here on this very first one? The entire field needs plowing. So actually in this area right here, I'm getting the 15% yield bonus for actually plowing the field. So none of the different ground statuses actually gave me any type of bonus at all. The only thing that we're seeing here is that in this section, I get the bonus from the plowing status, which is 15%, which is base game. And if I go ahead and turn this off, you can see that there is no fertilizer anywhere in this field. So that's another thing that I'm going to take a look at here to see, am I getting some type of fertilizer status or something like that with this? Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some ridges in the field in each one of these plots. And then we're going to come back and take a look at the yield bonus again to see if anything changed. All right, I got all 4 plots done. Let's take a look here. No fertilizer, no yield bonus at all. This one right here, no, nothing here. Plot number 2, nothing there. And a plot number 1. All right, now it's time to put some seeds in the ground. All right, I just finished up with that too. Now let's go up here and see. Check that out. 38 Or 45% yield bonus, 50% fertilized. All right, we're going to come over here and same thing, 40, 45 probably. Yeah, there we go. 45% and 50% fertilized. Come over here to number 2 and 45% fertilized, 48. That's probably because I'm just not in the right spot. It's probably going to be 45 and 50. Yeah, there it was. It was right there. 45 and 50 on this one too. And then plowing status right here, we can see that it is going to be yield bonus 60 and fertilize 50. Well, the reason we got extra here is because of the plowing status. So that's really interesting. We got a 50% yield bonus on like every one of these plots. And right here, yes, you can see that whenever you use this and then you put your seeds in the ground, you are going to get that 50%. That's very interesting. Free fertilizer. So it doesn't matter which way you prepare your field, whether you plow it, you cultivate it, you disc harrow it, you got to cut it open somehow. And it doesn't matter which one you use, you are going to be able to get that 50% as long as you make your ridges here instead of just putting it straight into the ground. So I highly recommend investing in one of these pieces of machinery. I mean, they're not cheap, but you're going to need it because cheap, free fertilizer. I mean, free, absolutely free. Who doesn't like free? So I've got the new Agrio Dino 2 in front of me here on the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. And it had me wondering, when do I need to fertilize my carrots, red beets, and parsnips? How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here. And today we're going to find out exactly when the best time is to fertilize your carrots, your red beets, and your parsnips here in the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. I've got the Agrio Dino 2 here in front of me. And I've got a field that we've already planted some seeds in a couple different ways. Yes, you can actually put your crops into the ground without needing the ridge marker. But if you do, there's a little bit of a benefit. I'm going to go and link the video up above telling you exactly why. And if you haven't checked out my other videos showing you how you're going to be able to get this 50% fertilization bonus right here, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you're going to get notified every time one of these videos comes out. Because guys, tips, tricks, testing, that's mostly what we do here on the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos here on the premium expansion. So here is the way that the field looks right now. As you can see, I've got these 4 strips of this 50% right here because we're playing base game. Well, without precision farming. Precision farming is going to be completely different. We're going to look at that later. Right now, base game fertilization, you need 2 stages. You need the light blue and then you need the dark blue. So you can see right here is light. These are all dark over here, and the rest of this is absolutely nothing. So I'm wondering, can I actually put any fertilizer down on the ground right now and then just be done with it till it's time to harvest? Let's go ahead. We got this thing turned on. Let's go ahead and turn the sprayer on, and I'm just going to go ahead and start driving till we get down till the other end of the field. Then we're going to take a look at the map again and see if anything happened. Now, this is a really interesting piece of equipment here. It's 27 meters wide, and you can get it all the way up to 36, I do believe. And to get this exact piece of equipment, go into your mods and DLCs, into your premium expansion, and then come across until you see the Dino 2 right here. Now, there are a couple other pull behind options that you can see. This one right here, it's an 8,000 liter tank. The next one is 13,500. And then the big Dino 2, the self-propelled, it's only 6,600 liters, but once again, it is self-propelled. You don't need any other things with it. Base price, $317,000. And like I said, you can get this all the way up to 36 meters right here. Get some narrow tires on it, all the different kinds. I mean, it's an interesting piece. I'm not saying it's the best. There's probably some other ones out there. So we just got the one strip finished up. Let's go and take a look at our map. And as you can see, everything is 50% now. So it didn't give me the extra. It looks like I'm going to have to wait until the crops actually start growing before I can put the fertilizer down. Let's go ahead and sleep a month. It is now September. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on and go ahead and make another pass here to see if now we can get that additional fertilizer pass. That way we don't have to do anything else to this. All right, we just got done and nailed the telephone pole right there. Let's take a look at our map. And yes, yeah, after 1 month, you are going to be able to do that because now you can see my original strips are now at 2 passes and everything else is at 1. So yeah, wait a month, fertilize, and then you're good to go. Ultras, plows, ridge makers, and seeders are all needed to get your brand new crops, carrots, red beets, and parsnips up to max yield here in the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. What if I told you you could do all four things in one pass? How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to be able to do that only using three pieces of equipment. Two of them are here in the base expansion right here. This is the Grimy, and you've got the Kverneland Nova Air right here. Now, these two absolutely can connect together using a 3-point option that you have here on the Ridge Maker. The key to this right here is going to be this mod here. This is the SP10M. This is by Ridiculous Dominic. And guys, it not only plows, it also mulches. And to find this mod, the easiest way is to go down to your mods and DLCs. Come over to your SP10M. When you click on it, you've got two options. With this setup right here, you really only need the one that goes 9 miles an hour. The Unreal, yeah, it goes 24, but you're honestly never going to use it. The most important part of this is adding the function of the mulcher here under configurations. When you first come in here, it's standard. Come across mulcher, it adds $0 for you right here. Your main color, you can make this anything you like. And then here on your design color, you could do the exact same thing. This setup is actually pretty simple to put together. All you need to do is back up to your Ridge Maker right here. Go ahead and attach it. Then you need to actually lower it down and then back up to your seeder right there. Boom, there you go. We'll attach it too. And then all we're going to do now is drive forward until we get up to our plow. And then we're going to attach it really, really easy. Now, with this setup right here, you need to leave your plow at 3 meters wide. That's what it starts as, and that's what you need to leave it as. All right, now all you got to do, go ahead, lower it down, and then you're going to be able to start going forward. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just hit the gas right here up till I get here to the edge of the field. When I get right there, I'm going to toggle back to my Ridge Maker. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and then I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my seeder as well. So now everything is active. I'm taking a look here at the map because I want to show you guys that this entire field does not have any mulching done to it. Also, it needs plowing completely, and there is no fertilizer anywhere on this field. Now, all we have to do is just go ahead and start driving. As you can see that it's going to do the plowing status. It's actually getting a mulching. I don't know if you can see there in the front of it. You can kind of see every once in a while that crop is just going to get taken down. If I go really slow here, you can see it's changing color in front. That's the actual mulching function. All right. So whenever you're using this plow here in the front, you need to make sure that your spikes are facing forward. That is getting you the mulching function. If you have it turned around the other way, this will not mulch for you. So you have to have it that way right there. I'm going to go and lower this thing back down into the ground. And then your Ridge Maker here, you can see that as it's making those ridges, it's a little bit lighter color. And then whenever you get to the seeding, it actually turns the dirt just a little bit darker color. So we're going to keep going here. I'm able to go 6 miles an hour because that is the working speed on the slowest piece of equipment that I have. And if I take a look at my map now, if I come over here to mulch, you can see that we do have a mulch status on this area that we've already done. Then I also go to needs plowing. That is already taken care of for me as well. And then fertilizer. Yep. After the seeds are put into the ground when making ridges, you get your fertilization status. Now, this setup works really, really well if you're doing the work by yourself. But unfortunately, it doesn't really work that great if you hire a worker. And let me show you what I mean here. So hire a worker. It's automatically going to extend your plow out to 12 meters. Now, this is a great benefit of this plow. But unfortunately, it's not going to work for you because when the worker gets down to the other end, they're actually going to plow back up what you have already made ridges on and put seeds in the ground. So this setup right here only works if you're doing the work yourself. Do not use this setup if you are going to use workers. Now, I do know there are other cultivators, front-mounted ones in the mod hub. I'm not going to go and list those right here, because then that would only be doing 3 things at once. You wouldn't be getting your mulching status. Oh man, all that product going on the ground and it just disappears? Wait, I got an idea. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today I've got a little trick for you so that you don't lose any of this product on the ground. Because with the premium expansion here for Farming Simulator 22, your carrots, red beets, and parsnips, yeah, they go straight to the ground and you lose them. So what I've got here today is the Lizard Forage Pickup. You guys know this one from a lot of my other videos. And yes, it absolutely works here too. Since this is a base game crop now, this is going to work without any update needed at all. So get your favorite tipper trailer and the forage pickup here, and you're going to be able to pick up your carrots, your red beets, and your parsnips off the ground. But there's one thing you're going to have to do to your harvester first, and that's actually enable for it to be able to drop on it to the ground. So if I start harvesting right now and I start going, then you're going to notice that the product is just going to disappear and it's not actually going to go on it to the ground. And boom, there you go. And I don't have any pile or anything forming there on the ground. And what I'm going to do to the harvester is actually change the unload function here on this machine. So for me, I'm going to hold control, hit I, and that's going to do a process now called unload here. So it's going to drop straight down on the ground. So if I go ahead and lower my header down, turn this thing on, go ahead and move forward here just a little bit, you're going to see that product is going to actually now start forming a pile on the ground underneath the conveyor belt here. And there you go. You can see that now I have a pile. Now, unfortunately, you workers aren't going to do this for you. So you could hire a worker and they're going to sit there and you still have to cart. But now as you're going along, if you accidentally miss any of the product, it's just going to drop onto the ground instead of disappearing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start letting this come out. Look, I'm getting a little bit there. And I'm just going to drive by. Oh no, I drove too far. Check that out. Now I'm back and I'm going to put the rest of it in here. So it's going to save you product and let you actually be able to get all of that product and sell it. So you're making the max money that you can. Now, I'm sure some of you were wondering, but driver, you could have done that without the forage pickup. Yeah, check this. I'm going to go ahead and switch up here to the front, lower it down, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing on, and I'm going to drive over this pile. Check that out. Now, if any of it does go on the ground, all I have to do is go around and pick it up with my forage pickup now, and I am good to go, and I am going to get the max money that I can for all the effort that I put in. So I think anytime you're using one of the larger harvesters that you need a tipper with also, go ahead and grab one of these forage pickups right here. It's going to come in handy. You're going to make your money back on it, guys. Precision farming and the premium expansion for Farming Simulator 22. Do they work together? Let's find out. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we're going to be finding out exactly how well precision farming and the new premium expansion work together with these new crops. The red beets, the carrots, and the parsnips. We all know that you're going to get free fertilizer whenever you use the Ridge Maker right here, and then you put your seeds in the ground. It's going to give you that one stage of fertilizer if you're playing base game without precision farming. What's going to happen here whenever we try and do this with precision farming turned on? Here in the map, you can see that my field is actually mostly sandy loam. That's going to be 100% yield. I'm not really going to be taking a look at yield today. I'm only going to be taking a look at the fertilizer, and that's going to be not here pH, this one, nitrogen. As you can see, I went ahead and harvested this entire field. So right now there is zero fertilizer in this field at all, except for a few spots here on the outside. I'm not going out there. We're going to stay right here on the edge. You can see that this is all going to be what I'm going to do all back and forth right through here is going to be the same soil type. So we're not going to get mixed results from that. First crop I'm going to do is red beets. I'm just going to go ahead and hire a worker here, get them down here a little bit, and then we are going to see what is happening. Now, I can already see that there is fertilizer here in the field. I'm using a mod called Real Speed Limit. That way I could go just a little bit faster here. We're going to go ahead and turn that worker off. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the map. And that's very interesting. I don't see any fertilizer at all that was actually applied here with precision farming. So maybe you don't get it? Short and sweet one for today. It's not always the answer you want, but it's the answer you're going to get. Enjoy the video. Go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell too. And while you're waiting on those future videos of precision farming and the premium expansion here on Farming Simulator 22, make sure you go ahead and check out these other two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.